The 1%, money, money, money. The Occupy Wall Street movement, as many of you might recall, had individuals clamoring around big painted signs saying we are the 99%.
When the top 1% of wealth in this country controls political decisions, when the money that comes straight out of banks goes to bonuses instead of taking care of some of the problems that we need, and that same money goes to pay for the politicians that make those decisions, people should be damn annoyed.
So throughout the media, we saw these big signs. We are the 99%. Individuals who said they were tired that the 1% of income earners in this country control the majority of the nation's wealth. However, my question really sprung up, well, who are the 1%? In doing so, I divulged plenty of research, dived into various topics, and I found some very surprising facts pertaining to who this mysterious group of illustrious individuals are. So it began with my first question: who are the 1%? Many people, when they think of the 1%, they think of what you see right here. Individuals who have more money than God, who simply can afford to burn through copious amounts of money. All right, well, if they can afford to burn through copious amounts of money, the stereotype around it is that they don't pay enough in taxes. Now, a recent Pew survey conducted by CNN Money found that nearly 58% of Americans surveyed believe that the 1% don't pay enough in taxes. Only 26% believe that they do pay their fair share, and 8% actually believe that they pay too much. So it's fair to say that the majority of Americans truly believe that this illustrious group of individuals, the 1%, don't pay their fair share in taxes. So with that in mind, the question sprung up in my head, well, how do I enter the 1%? What's the money range for that? Well, if we look at what Forbes data had to say, then entry to the 1% starts with savings of about $394,000. Now you factor in various things, taxes, retirement savings, whether you work for a company which can offer you options such as health care, medical care, dental care, that's about $220,000 a year while working. However, age is also an important factor. According to The Atlantic, an individual, a 30-year-old earning $130,000 in the year 2010 would be considered in the top 1% of his age group for earning capabilities. Now, as he grows older and as he progresses to the workforce, he would need to increase his earning capabilities by $80,000 within 5 years, and then another $70,000 in 10 years. So bearing these two factors in mind, we get an approximate idea of who the 1% are, how much they earn, and how ahead of their age group they are in earning capabilities. So the prominent question then that sprung into my mind was, okay, well, how much are they paying in taxes? Do they really not pay their fair share? Are they paying a fair share in taxes? Are they paying too little? What are the hardcore facts behind this? Well, according to CNNmoney.com, the top 10% of taxpayers pay over 70% of the nation's taxes. Okay, so we get an idea, okay, the top 1%, they're in the top 10%. So they're in the 70% bracket. However, if we look further, we can see that according to the Tax Foundation, the top 1% pay 36% of the nation's taxes. So when you look at a group, the top 70% of people paying taxes, the top 10% that pays this, the 1% pays half of that. The resulting data is that the 1% are indeed paying their fair share. They're paying more than half of what everybody else who pays the majority of the nation's taxes pay. And this number is only increasing. If we see this chart here provided by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, we can see that the top 1%, in terms of the entire percent of taxes they pay annually, is increasing exponentially. We see here in 1980, it was about less than 20%, right about 18%. And in the year 2011, we're right at 35%. And that number is actually increasing. So the resulting data of this conclusion was that they do pay their fair share. And I wanted to give you guys an illustrative example. This data is a bit outdated. It's from 2005, but I just wanted to help you visualize what exactly I'm talking about here. So if we look at the top 1% in earning capabilities, now keep in mind this is 2005 data, you're looking at about $1,558,000 before taxes, before retirement savings. Keep that in mind. That's 18% of the national income. Okay, so that's 18% of what all Americans make cumulatively put together. And what they pay in taxes is 27% of the entire nation. Now, bearing in mind the factor is 35%, we can see that the area over here in the red has actually increased. So the 1% have been paying a hefty and substantial amount in taxes, and the amount that they're paying has only further increased. And tax data suggests that it only will continue to increase as the years progress. So my conclusion with regards to that aspect is not only are they paying their fair share, they're paying more than half of the nation's taxes. I found this illustration to be quite humorous from the Occupy Wall Street movement, Eat the Rich. The slogan was, with Occupy Wall Street, that if the wealthy continue to control the nation's wealth, they'll substantially increase food prices and everything else, and everybody else won't be able to afford commodities, thus people will, out of starvation, be forced to eat the rich. However, we know from the resulting tax data that that's not true. Okay, so we know that they pay their fair share, we know their income capabilities, but out of all the occupations, who comprises the 1%? This is data from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, which suggests that the people who comprise the 1% are individuals such as doctors, business persons, small business owners, farmers and ranchers, social service providers, government workers. So you have an eclectic range of individuals. Whenever most people think about the 1%, typically they tend to think about individuals like Donald Trump or like Michael Jordan, these hefty financial bigwigs, these John Rockefellers, these athletes, okay, who earn millions and millions of dollars a year. Whereas in reality, getting into the 1% is very attainable for all of us here today of various educational backgrounds. It's something that once we get into a career and get settled in, it can be very, very attainable. But what I found further surprising is that in all actuality, there is more income inequality amongst people of the top 1% than the bottom 99%. So if you analyze people in the top 1%, the entry level is about $220,000. If you look at people on the top 10th of the 1%, they make about $2 million annually. The top 100th of the 1%, the uber financial bigwigs, the athletes, the millionaires, the real estate tycoons, have a net worth about $10.2 million annually. That's an annual income. Now that is substantially widens the gap for individuals at the front, at the entry level to the 1%. So in grouping these individuals together, we tend to stereotype them as kind of a homogeneous group of people, when in reality their earning capabilities fluctuates dramatically. So put simply, it would be a complete fallacy to say that a doctor, a small business owner, and Donald Trump are all the same type of people in terms of their earning capability, when in reality it couldn't be further from the truth. A doctor who would earn about $250,000 annually, a small business owner who might earn between $220,000 and $400,000 annually, and Donald Trump, who God knows how much he makes annually. Okay, it's a bit ridiculous to try to stereotype them all into the same category. All these individuals are from various economic backgrounds, from various educational backgrounds, and so entering the 1% is something that's very attainable. Okay, it's once you get into the top 10 and the top 100th of the percentile that you really start to see where the wealth is concentrated. So in conclusion, through my research, I was able to kind of differentiate the myth of the 1%. All right, individuals in the 1% pay their fair share of taxes. They pay more taxes than any other income group in the country. That number is only increasing. So when we look at them and we say they don't pay their fair share, or the rumor is that they don't pay their fair share, we know now through tax data that that's not true. They pay more than their fair share. We know that they are an eclectic group of individuals from diverse educational backgrounds, and that as college students, it's very plausible that we can enter the 1% in our future, and that the income gaps amongst them are enormous. So I want to end on a quote that really struck me about the 1%. This comes from a CNBC economist who states that the 1% is like a restaurant patron who not only covers her table's entire tab, but leaves a substantial tip as well. So I hope you all get a little bit better of an idea on what the 1% is, and hope to see you all in the same income bracket in the future. Thank you.